is a lot of our stumbling blocks. We live a life that, yes, we say that we have a faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. Yes, we go to church. And yes, we read our Bible. And yes, we tell our kids to believe in Jesus Christ. And yes, we tell our neighbors, God bless you here and there. But what do people see as we go through this? Do people see somebody that knows that they have the victory on their side? Do people get to hear the positive testimonies about what God has done in your life? Or do they just hear that somehow you have this little glimpse of hope? This little bitty candle in a dark room? I know for me, sometimes when I hear a testimony of somebody that all of a sudden the joy of Jesus just starts to come out, I almost get goosebumps. I love to hear it. I love to hear the testimonies of people that have the joy of Jesus in their lives. It's such a rewarding thing to me. I ran into this old man in Lowe's, and he just started talking to me. It was like the third guy that started talking to me while I was in there. And he started telling me about his life as a Christian, and he's older now. His Sunday school class has a bunch of stuff for people. But then he started reading me this poem that he wrote, And I think it was his grandfather got saved in a rock mine, and the rock mine collapsed on him. And in there he pleaded with the Lord and said, you get me out of this and I'll live a life that better serves you, that better pleases you. And he told him, his grandma had told him the story about his grandpa, great-grandpa, whoever it was, And he wrote this whole poem. So right there in Lowe's, he started sharing with me this poem. And I couldn't do how much of this stuff he memorized, And as he started sharing this poem, I just began to smile, Because as he went through this poem, you could see the life experience. When he talked about the joy of Jesus, his face was beaming. When he talked about the victory of living a life with Jesus, his face was beaming. And all of a sudden, this positive person came forth. And I'm standing there in the middle of Lowe's with people walking around and wondering what in the world this guy is talking about. And I got this big smile on my face, And I went to leave, and I told him, I just want to thank you for sharing that with me. He was like, oh, it's just something I wrote. I said, no. That was a blessing to me this week. That was a huge blessing. Because sometimes when you see the joy coming out of somebody else, it reminds you of something that sometimes you lost sight of. The third part I want to go over here, and that's the peace of God. Verse 14 says, but above all things, put on love, which is the bond of perfection, and let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to which also you were called in one body, and be thankful. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord. And whatever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God and the Father through him. That's peace. That's joy right there when you get to that section. We went through the anger, we went through the malice, we went through the sins, we talked about all the worldly things that ensnare us, that entangle us. And some of us read this and we say, oh yeah, that'd be nice if I could do that and everything. But some of us need to do just like I was telling my daughter, that we need to loose that grip. We need to turn our eyes and we need to focus on something else, and that's Christ. And we need to loose that grip on the things of the world, and then all of a sudden we'll find that joy, and we'll find that peace. And when you go through life and you go through a hard struggle and God brings you out the other side and you know that you can visually look back and see the hand of God carrying you through that problem, it's easy to talk about how joyous our life is as a Christian, isn't it? But yet we don't do it. We keep it to ourselves and we just say, well, that was for me. That was a God moment for me. And yes, it was a blessing, but you know what I mean? I'm just going to use that. I'm going to save it up in this little bottle and I'm going to let it carry me through my next trial. No, tell other people about it. Experience life. It didn't say keep it to yourself. It doesn't say that. It says let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord. We're to show that joy to other people. We're to go out there and tell people what a joy it is to have a Savior in our life. Or to tell people what a joy it is to know that we already have victory on our side. And some of us are robbing not only the people around us of that joy, but ourselves of that joy, because we're so focused on that Christian living now. And we get ensnared into all these little things, and we say, well, you don't know what I've been through right here. I was supposed to get this inheritance in my life, or the stock market crashed, or I lost this much money on my house, and this one. You're taking none of that with you. You are taking absolutely none of that with you. Yes, it is going to cause you problems, and yes, your life may get a little bit harder, but you have victory on your side. And I think if anybody in the Bible knew that, it's Paul. When you read his words, his letters to his people, he was focused on the things above. And anytime he talked to people, even if it was a church that was in trouble, even if it was people that were doing things, like this church that he came to, there was almost like this paganism being taught in their church. There was this new false religion that now almost, you could say, is coming back in today's times. He's talking to people like that. He's not coming at them and condemning them. He's telling them that away from that teaching, if they focus on Christ and if they focus on the things above, that there's peace and there's joy and there's love in store for them. Because he is focused on the things above, and he can tell them that with no conviction in his heart. He's not trying to sell them something. He's telling them about the joy and his relationship with Jesus. And he's telling them about that joy and his relationship with Jesus from prison. And as we read that, I know, especially for me, as I read Paul's words to this church in Colossae, and I think about where he was when he wrote it, and I think about this joy and this peace section. And I think, man, if he can see the joy and the peace from where he was at in his life, how come I can't take this joy and this peace to people around me? And I'm convicted by that. I told you all the chapters in the Bible, this one gets me every single time I read it. I just want to leave you guys with this one last thing, and that's wherever you find yourself this morning. Are you seeking the Lord's face in it? Or are you holding on to it? I know a lot of us pray for answers, and we say, man, Lord, I want you to help me out of this, and I want you to do this. But yet, the answer we seek is sometimes already written out. I'm going to say that you're going to answer this, Lord. I'm going to keep praying for this specific thing, but here's how I want you to answer it in such and such order. And then I'll know it's your hand, and then I'll loosen the grip on it. Right? I know I've done that plenty of times. I see myself going through the struggle. I don't think it's fair. I see this person not going through that struggle. I see their life. Something's not adding up here. So, Lord, let's make things right. You're a just God, right? Let's do it this way. Here's how I've already previously written down for you. I want you to follow steps 1 through 10 in this order, And all of a sudden, we're playing God with things in our life. I have yet to talk to a person who was a believer or a non-believer that I didn't find something in common with them. And that's it. Everyone through some type of struggle in their life. There is something that their heart is focused on. There is something that they are grasping onto with real tight white knuckles. And as you begin to talk to somebody about something they're passionate about, sometimes you'll see tears. And sometimes you'll see people that have a hard time talking with them. Everybody's dealing with something. And we can go through this life and we can pretend like that, in our conversations and in our meetings with other people, that we're not going through our something, and we don't want to talk to them about their something because we may or may not have the answer for it, so we can avoid the conversation. Or when they kind of start bringing it up, we can change the subject. I know we have all those nice little tools on our dispense, that we can do those things with, but the fact of the matter is we are to share the joy and the peace of God with those people. And sometimes the only way to get to that part of the conversation is to talk about those things that are uncomfortable, to tell them how Jesus has victory in our life, how he's conquered some of the sins that we were holding on to. And guys, let me tell you what, there is freedom in letting go. My wife likes to play tricks on me because I hold things, and she knows that it's a bad habit, so she'll just hand something to me, and I'll hold it. And I don't even know that I grab it. And I'll just be holding on to it. And then I could be driving down the road with this hand, and she'll hand me something, and I'll just hold on to it. I'll be driving, and next thing you know, I'm 30 miles down the road, holding on to that thing. And she's over there with this little smirk on her face, you know what I mean? And I'm like, did it again, you know? Or I'll have two things, and she'll just go like this. She won't even look at it. And she knows that I'll go into this panic mode, because I already have something in this hand, I'm trying to figure out how to set it down or whatever, and she has nothing, and she's just doing it to make fun of me, you know. But sometimes I'll catch myself, even when she's not there, I can't blame it on her. I'll be holding on to something for a long time, and I'll put it down, and I'll be like, my hand is almost formed around that thing that I was holding on to, you know. And there is a freedom sometimes in letting it go. And I kind of have that moment. I stretch my fingers out, and I'm like, why was I holding on to that? Spiritually, a lot of times in my life, I'm holding on to something I don't even know I'm holding on to. I don't even know I'm grasping it like I am. I don't even know that I'm not trusting in the Lord with it. I don't even know that I'm not bringing it to Him like I'm supposed to, and I'm walking around holding on to it. And then I'm holding on to something else, and guess what? Here comes another trial in my life, and I go into panic mode. And I say, Lord, I don't have a place to put that. And I wonder sometimes if He just smirks at me. You know, 1 Peter 5:7 says, cast all your cares upon Him, for He cares for you. And I know this morning that there are some of us that have a care in their life. There's something that we're holding on to. There's something that is robbing us from that peace that surpasses all understanding. And we need to just let it go. So this morning, as we close in the song, I just want you to think about that thing. You don't have to come forward. You don't have to come to the altar and let it go. You can do it where you're at. You can think about it throughout this week. But I want that to be on your mind. I want you to think about the thing that you're holding on to that you need to let go.